Commentary Booth is a show for media lovers by media lovers just like you. If you want to support the show, go to pariomagazine.com.au. So we've basically said that Top Gun is great. In terms of the other thing we're watching, The Greatness Code, which sort of dives into definition of greatness. What did you think of season 2?
So there were some episodes I liked and there's some episodes I didn't like. And it was basically based around sports that I have interest in and sports that I don't have interest in. So like the Marcus Rashford one, like, actually I don't really like it as much anymore, but like always have loved football, soccer. So that was really interesting. I've really been getting into NFL over the last couple of years. And I've always said that like Seattle is my playoff team because Jacksonville are absolutely hopeless. So the Russell Wilson
at the moment,
one,
this year they could be really good.
Yeah. That's what we said last year. But, so I found those ones really interesting as well. And then, yeah, the Bubba Wallace one as well, only because I like Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell and Sacha Baron Cohen. I kind of like, oh, yeah, that's cool as well. So they're the ones that like I really was involved in. And then the other ones I was kind of watching and kind of like staring at my phone. But over, like, I really did enjoy them. They were great.
Yeah, the Bubba Wallace one really did make me want to go and rewatch Talladega Nights. Like I was like, I just want to go on a full nostalgia trip now. But I liked some of those random sports that I didn't really have much knowledge in, just because it was a nice way to be introduced to athletes that I wouldn't otherwise know. And I think my favorite part about this show is though that they are really short and like they just focus on one particular moment in an athlete's career, which is such an interesting take. Like when they first announced this show, I thought it was going to be a much more in-depth, maybe like an hour each on each person. And then I watched it and they're 15, I think maximum 20 minutes. And the way that they incorporate the interview feature with archival footage and then like the really cool animation style, really makes them interesting visually to watch as well as hearing the story. Like you can't sort of look away for that 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
And I also liked this season that it wasn't like the mega stars. Like the first season was LeBron, Tom Brady, Kelly Slater, Shaun White, Usain Bolt, Alex Morgan, and Katie Ledecky. Like pretty much all of those people, household names in their particular sport. Whereas this season was a mixture. We had Marcus Rashford and Russell Wilson, who are household names. But then we also had the skateboarder Leticia Bufoni from Brazil, which was really cool. Like to see that they chose a random female skateboarder rather than like a Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
And then we had, I think my favorite episode was the Scout Bassett one, the disabled runner who's missing part of her leg. And then Bubba Wallace and Lindsey Vonn. But the Russell Wilson one was awesome, like talking about his flu game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But yeah, that Scout Bassett one, just because it was so like heartfelt and like they kind of did expand a little bit more for her. It wasn't just one moment in her career. It was kind of the lead up to that moment and her struggles as an orphan child in, was it China? Like that was so cool to see. And she like instantly became like one of my favorite athletes. I was just like, this poor lady has gone through a horrible time, but she's still just found this one thing that she loves. And I also liked that it wasn't necessarily people that were on top winning all the time. Like they defined greatness as just doing the best you can. And I thought that was a really cool example to set for people. Even if you're not the best in the world at something or first place all the time, you can still look at something and be like, I did great.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
really
like,
inspiring.
Very super inspiring. Yeah. So like we had Marcus Rashford, his was more just on his debut, so not necessarily coming first in everything. Russell Wilson's was him winning a game with the flu, but I don't think that they didn't go on to win the Super Bowl that year. So, not quite a world champion, but obviously still one of the greatest. Leticia Bufoni, they talked about how she wasn't necessarily doing all that well, and then ended up just having a good little run and won the Skate League series that year. But then, Scout Bassett was her great moment was winning a bronze medal, which is like, I think for a lot of athletes that go to the Olympics, like just medaling is such a great achievement because it is the greatest in that sport from all around the world. It's not just one small selection of people. Bubba Wallace winning the Talladega race for NASCAR, becoming the first black driver to do so in 60 years was really cool. And he seems like such a character too.
Yeah.
And then Lindsey Vonn was another one where it wasn't necessarily about her winning a gold medal or being the best in her sport. It was kind of more about her struggles with injury and overcoming injury and deaths in the family, like just pushing through and trying to do the best she can in her sport, alpine skiing. And she talks about how she felt like she did a great run and then it didn't win. So it was kind of like, hey, greatness can feel a certain way, but not necessarily produce the results that you want. But yeah, like we said, so well done and such a good series in terms of just inspiring people. And I think because they are 15 minutes, you can just chuck one on here or there. You don't necessarily have to invest a serious amount of time watching the show.
Yeah, definitely.
So out of the two that we watched, what would be your top recommendation?
You got to go the greatness code. Like nowadays, like you'll have ups and downs in your life, like highs and lows, but this is something really inspiring. And if you're just feeling a bit like down or like you need a bit of motivation, just chuck one of these on and it'll just really just like perk you up. Like I know I was watching it the other night and like work's been like really busy lately and like it really helped inspire me like to go on with the rest of this week. And like, it's just great, a brilliant watch.
Yeah, like you just got to push through, and even if things don't quite go right, you can still achieve greatness.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, Top Gun is a timeless classic. The sequel is about to hit, so you have to go and rewatch the original at some point. So apart from that, I've just been watching random stuff. Like I'm in that weird phase where I don't want to invest in anything because I know I'm going to go away for a couple of weeks and then come back and be like, what's going on? So I've just been watching.
Yeah.
I've been getting into the series Alone. Have you seen that one on SBS?
No.
It's basically Extreme Survivor.
Okay.
So like, what they do is they take 10 people. They give them a list of 50 tools and items that they're allowed to select 10 items from. And then they give them a bunch of cameras and they take them to this remote Vancouver island and dump each one of them at a different spot that's impossible for them to then move and meet up with each other. Like there's a big body of water in between them or a mountain or something. And they're literally just put there with their cameras and their 10 items and left there. And then it's last man standing wins $500,000.
Oh, wow.
So they have no food. Like the items are basically like tarps, an axe, fish hooks, a fishing net, and just a sleeping bag and like just little things like that. And they're left there for however long. And there's bears, there's cougars, there's wolves on this island. It's freezing cold and wet all the time. And season 1, the first guy lasted 56 days by himself with nothing.
Oh, wow.
And it's cool to see like the biggest struggle a lot of them have is not necessarily finding food or surviving in the conditions. It's literally being alone.
Yeah, of course.
Like that would be it just looks and sounds very, very hard.
Yeah.
I think season 1, the first person quit after about 12 hours. Like he spent the night there. A bear like walked right up to his camp and he was just like, nope, not worth dying over.
Yeah.
The second season, the first person quits after about 6 hours.
Yeah, well.
He gets there, gets dropped off, goes, finds where he's going to set up camp, and then just looks around and is like, I don't feel comfortable here. And just,
Well.
I'm like, good. But yeah, I've just been watching that because it's like, it's not something that requires remembering a story. It's just chuck it on and watch these people try to survive, which is cool.
You can also watch, if you want something like that, Love is Blind. It's a great show, it's tacky. But
is that the one where they go on like dates blindfolded?
Yeah. No, they're not blindfolded. They're in separate rooms. And they go on all dates and they have to decide who they want to propose to and they get engaged and then they meet each other after they're engaged and then everyone meets each other.
Jesus. That's like Married at First, crazy Married at First Sight.
Yeah. My boss was watching it one day at Marley in the office. She was working and watching it. And I was like, what the fuck? Turn this off. This is crap. And I turned around. Whoop! And then I watched it.
And next thing you knew, you were in.
And it was... Oh, I was in. And they've got a new show that's come out as well. I can't remember what it's called, but I need to watch that as well. So it's on Netflix if you want to watch it. It's really good. I highly recommend it. It's... people, I'm just trying to remember the names of the host. Nick Lakey and Vanessa Lacey. I don't know, they're famous romance people in America. So Lachey. Nicholas Lachey. And I don't know.
Why do I know that name?
Quite famous, actually. Is this bloke?
Nick Lachey. Is he he from like a boy band?
American Singer. 98 Degrees.
That's it.
He was also married to Jessica Simpson in 2002 to 2006.
That's where I know him from. Not 98 Degrees.
Look at him here.
Yep, that's...
Looks like he could be in Top Gun.
Looks like he could be in Top Gun.
He's at the Ramstein Air Base. I don't know. But Love is Blind if you want to watch something that's really trashy. My guilty pleasure. Love is Blind.
Are there Love is Blind applications that we can submit for you?
It's American, but if it was in Australia, I'd 100% do it. I'm also in the process of applying to maths. That's my next goal.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I already got sucked into watching the last season. Don't make me watch a new season. And I knew someone on the last season too.
Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Dom.
Okay, yes.
I thought, small world. Jack actually I was DJing the other week and he came and hijacked my set because he's a DJ, so.
Yeah, good. Oh,
he wasn't that good.
I guess I'm going to end up watching last season because of Jack and then the next season because of Jaxon. Thanks for that.
Let's if I get on. I will get on. I will.
Yeah, confidence, greatness. Achieve greatness.
Yeah. Achieve greatness. Married at First Sight. Let's go.
Alrighty. Let's leave it at that insanity. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed this show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. You can follow Jaxon on TikTok at Jax_Carr, and you can follow me on social media at JamieAppsMedia and at Pario Magazine. The Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/JamieAppsMedia. The following people supported at the community support group level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Brian and June Hart, Blake Robinson, Rena Renee, Courtney Paulson, Darren Hatcliffe, Jaxon Carr, and Tracy Apps.